Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to F1 Manager 23 on the PS5. Tonight, it's the start of Season 2 of our Hardcore series. We have our pre-season build-up, our winter testing, developing of our brand new car, and then Bahrain. But first, we have to end off the previous season, so let's go right into that now. So here we are then on the end of the final day of the year of Season 1. We've got our current driver lineup of Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda, but of course Yuki is leaving us. This is his final moment with the team. We have got an agreement in place with Oscar Piastri. He'll be joining us tomorrow. And we've also got some changes to our backroom staff as well. We've got Dan Fallows coming in as our new technical chief. We've got Dirk de Beer coming in as our new head of aero. And we have Alan Permain coming in as our new sporting director. So some significant changes going on just there. Hopefully, while we might not necessarily see an immediate impact in terms of Dan and Dirk, with their fingerprints on the new car, it'll certainly have more of an effect as the season progresses, I think. And of course, we are saying goodbye to Yuki, who has performed well at times, disastrously at other times. He has been both wonderful and a disaster. It's kind of hard to put into words just how up and down his season was. He had some amazing highs, some disastrous lows, but his inconsistency just meant that was time to say goodbye. So with Oscar Piastri becoming available and willing to join us, we had a decision to make. Do we keep Liam, having only just put him in the car a few months ago, and pair him up with Oscar, or do we keep Yuki and partner Piastri with Yuki? And in the end, we decided we'll go with the Down Under connection. A New Zealand driver in Liam Lawson and an Australian driver in Oscar Piastri leaves no room, unfortunately, for Yuki. So he is off to pastures new. I have a sneaking suspicion he will take the seat at McLaren that's about to become available. We shall see. I would say he's going there, or he's going to go to Williams. One of those two. But at the end of the season, we did achieve our objective, which was to finish in 8th place. Here you can see, this is our new season target, is to finish in 6th. Ooh, okay, that's a little bit meatier. So, we shall accept. And let's get the new season underway. Evening Patkins, evening Baron, good to see you guys. Start off with our sponsorship obligations. So, race hospitality. This will decrease our pit crew performance. So I'm going to drop that down to, let's see, how much is it? It's not worth that much money at all, is it? I'm going to drop that down to 5, minimize the impact on our pit crew. Memorabilia room, this is worth very little money at all, but it has no real effect on our team, so we're going to bump that all the way up to 25. Driver appearances, now this is worth significant money, but it does pause driver development. 13 appearances is worth 3.6 million for just one driver. Now, if we go both drivers and drop that down to 10, which is the minimum, it does lessen the individual burden on one driver, but obviously puts a significant burden on the other driver who wasn't originally supposed to do anything. But it will net us 5.5 million, and that could definitely be worth a nice chunk of change. Race weekend appearances. This will reduce drivers' control ratings. This not worth that much. I'm going to drop that down as low as I can. But we will split it across both drivers. That'll bring in another 800,000. Let's confirm those changes. Right, merchandising. This is where the bulk of our income is going to come. So we're going to be starting the season with 19 million. And then, depending on which engine we choose, it might go up a little bit or it might come down a little bit. But we're going to have in the region of 17 to 20 million. in that kind of ballpark. So the more money we spend on merchandising, the less money we're going to have in that starting budget. Now, we definitely want to increase our income because that really hurt us last year, but I don't want to overdo it. You can see the pre-season cost going up quite dramatically. If we go to 2,000 units, that's 6.5 million. That drops our starting money down quite significantly. What will it do to our income per race? It'll give us an extra 420 grand a race. So that means we're looking at about 2.6 per race before sponsorship objectives. But that drops our starting available balance down to 13.4 mil. Race simulator events. This will reduce the simulator boost for each of our drivers. Again, it's not worth a lot of money. It's only worth 140 grand a pop. So I'd rather let my drivers develop. We're not going to have any of those. Race day factory events. It's worth hardly any money at all, but it does have a significant impact on how well we can produce parts. So we're going to ignore that. And factory events, same. It slows down how quickly we can get parts out for very little money, so we're going to ignore that as well. And that leaves us with a starting budget of 13.4, sorry, with a 2.6 income per race, which isn't too bad. How you doing, Anthony? How you doing, Mr. Watter? Good to see you guys as well. Right, let's move on. Now you can see our new objective is to finish 6th. So if we have a car that is the same as it was last year, we're going to be in trouble. But touch wood, our car will be better. We shall see. There is a breakdown of our finances. You can see our incoming prize money, sponsorship money, board payments, facility payouts, etc., etc. These are the reg changes, so just to go through them again, no changes on the chassis. The front wing has got changes going through. You can see we are making some significant brake gains and some nice improvements on our downforce and some good improvements on our airflow as well. Moving on to the rear wing, same again. You can see we're getting small to large gains on our downforce against the changes. Nice big gain on our airflow sensitivity and drag reduction DRS. No changes to the side pods, although we did get a project in, so we are going to get a little bit of a boost to our side pod for this year. And then underfloor, again, nice little decent sized gains to cover off the loss of performance from the reg changes. A nice big change to our airflow sensitivity and drag reduction as well. And then with the suspension, again, a nice big improvement to our brakes. Some really good solid improvements to our downforce against what we're going to lose through the reg changes. Another sort of 10 to 11% gained in airflow and 12.5% saved on our drag reduction. So in theory, our car should be really, really improved going into the start of the new season. However, these are percentage gains on what are essentially already very low values. So I need to just temper everyone's expectations a little bit. I don't think we're going to be jumping forward dramatically. I think we will have a small incremental gain, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if we're still near the bottom of the grid. No changes to the cost cap for this season. It stays the same. No change to how the prize money is dished out. So if we finish in 8th again, that's worth another 48.5 mil. Hopefully we can finish a little bit higher up. If we finish in 6th, which is our target, that'll be worth 56 mil, which is really nice. And no changes to the sporting regs in terms of points. They're staying the same. Points allocation stays the same. CFD testing limits remain the same, as do wind tunnel limits, but we are getting an extra gearbox, an extra ERS unit, and an extra engine as well. Very nice, because they are expensive and they rack up pretty quick. Speaking of engines, we need to choose our new engine supplier. So we could stick with Honda, but I want to break away from them. Question is, do I go for Mercedes or do I go for Renault? I'm not going to go for Ferrari. They're the most expensive engine, and I'd rather not increase our budget by, or decrease our budget by another 2 million. We could save 1 million by going to Renault, and that would give us 14.4 mil, or we could go to Mercedes, which would give us 12.4 mil. So now it's a question of weighing up the pros and cons of each engine. We'll have a better power loss threshold with the Mercedes, only a slightly lower wear resistance, which is already very high compared to what we were on last year. Thermal resistance is best in class with Mercedes. Fuel efficiency is better than what we had last year, but only just. Gearbox durability is lower than Red Bull, but significantly higher than the Renault engine, and the ERS durability significantly higher than what we had with Red Bull, and also pretty significantly higher than Renault as well. Power is negligible. I think Mercedes is probably the right call here. It's only 1 million more than we're paying right now for an engine that, while not as powerful, is certainly a lot more durable, not just on its own engine component, but also on the gearbox and the RS as well. As an overall package, it's a much more reliable engine. It's got much better thermal resistance, it's got much better wear resistance, it's got much better power loss threshold. Yeah, I think we have to go with the Mercedes engine, really. So that's going to drop us down to 12.4. Evening Horrific, evening Victor, good to see you guys. So there we go, Mercedes engines. Oh, well, there we go. Yuki has joined McLaren. That much is pretty much a given. If we click here, you can see he's been partnered up with Tom Stallard. But if we now leave, it flashes to Oscar, who has now joined, and he is partnered up with Matthias Spinney. So, let's see. Let's go to our inbox first of all. There's Dan Fallows, our new technical chief. So that's where our car sits in terms of 2024 performance against last year. We've actually gone down a little bit in acceleration. Not surprising, considering we've tacked on more downforce. We have gained a nice little bit of speed. Our DRS is massively improved. Not huge gains in downforce, but then I wasn't expecting huge gains. The fact that we have got gains, though, is good. Our dirty air tolerance up by 15%. That is nice. Brake cooling up nearly 20%. That's nice. And engine cooling up by 12%. Yes, definitely liking those numbers. Question is, how much have the rest of the grid improved? That is still the unknown factor there. Evening, Anthony. I think I've already said hello to you, Anthony. Evening, Farah, as well. What's my aim for the season? Achieve my objective of 6th. That's my target. So this is our pit crew as they stand right now, having had a winter break. We'll have to get them up to snuff pretty quickly. ATR allocations. We've already had a look at those. New ATR period starts now. We're going to get 84 hours in terms of the wind tunnel and 6.3 MAU hours for the CFD. Car development is now open. We'll be jumping on that in just a second. New regulations are in effect. Yes, we know about that. And a driver development update. So, what was Yuki's final training summary? No improvement for Yuki in his final summary, but we did gain a point in smoothness and overtaking for Liam. And has Enzo improved? He's gained a point in braking and accuracy. Nice. Okay, so let's start off getting our new training schedule in for our pit crew. So they're coming into the year with a little bit of fatigue. Going to give them the Monday off. We're going to go with a nice mix of training. Oops, there we go. And we'll put in a little bit of car building. There we go. And then we'll give them the Sunday off. This time they will get some training on the Monday. There we go. I'm looking to improve their baseline skill numbers, as well as obviously their speed. And obviously we completely neglected car building last season, just to try and work on our speed. We do want to pay a little bit of attention to that this year, because it is below 50%, which is pretty terrible. And I could get them working every day of the month, but I want them to have some downtime, because that just makes it easier for them to recover and retain some of the training that they are going through. We wear them out too much, then we have to rest them for a significant period to get them back to a point where they are, workable again. I'll get to your comment in a second, Farah. I saw something about Space Crew. I just want to finish putting in this schedule here. There we go. And then into February. We're going to just focus the last 3 days on straight up gym training, I think. Well, technically, I suppose this is all gym training, but oh dear. Yeah, I'll get my coat. Right, there we go. New training schedule in for our new sporting director. Right, so let me have a quick look at the chat. Let's have a look. After enjoying Space Crew a while back, just by chance discovered there's a Bomber Crew. My profile says I've played both. Yes, I have. Loved them both. I can't remember if I platinumed Bomber Crew. I know I platinumed Space Crew. And there is a new one on the way. Badlands Crew, I think. It works in a similar way to the other 2 games, except you have like a wagon that goes through like a Mad Max kind of environment, and you have to fight off other people. With multiple crew members. It looks pretty cool. Haven't really seen a huge amount of it yet. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that one. The training thing is new to you, so you just went balanced. Yeah, I mean, with the training, what you can do is obviously you can just go with the inbuilt schedules, or you can go with something that's customized like this, and you can also with the pit crew training, you can actually dial in on individual specific things. So you can see here we're getting a nice uniform +4 across all areas, but if I wanted to focus in specifically on jacks, then I could do that, and that would boost jacks against the other areas. So yeah, you've got some flexibility within the system. I'm just going to ignore those changes. Right, while we're on the staff page, let's get our staff training in. We've done the pit crew, now we need to work on everyone else. So let's take a quick look. Excuse me. Bodywork looks to be an area that needs more work than structure. 81, 82 and 86. Yeah, we'll go with the bodywork. Okay, let's have a look at Dirk. So let's see. So I'm going to tag that as a nominal. Ground effects. Grip and traction is looking okay. Bodywork again, maybe. see. So ground effect is going to work on high and medium speed downforce, drag reduction, and airflow management. That's going to keep also working on airflow management and drag reduction, but it's also going to give me cooling and DRS. I think the downforce is probably going to be more important, so we'll go with that. Let's see, do I need to update Ben's training? No, he's still where he needs to be on car analysis. Mattia is still on responsiveness, that's good. Alan Permain does need some training planning in. He's 94 on processes, which is nice. That is effectively the maximum level our pit crew can get up to. As he improves his processes, that improves how high our guys can go. I think it's processes, or is it aptitude? It's one of those. It might be aptitude. Let's have a quick look, actually. Oh, it's aptitude. Yeah, you can see there our guys have a maximum of 91, which is the aptitude rating of Alan. So if we were to increase that into 92, our pit crew could go up to an overall of 92 each. We're going to go with training and leadership. Work on the 287s. And now we need to do our drivers. So, do we need to update Liam? Liam is still on race strategy. Looking at his pace stats. Be nice to be slightly higher, but it's okay where it is. Adaptability could do with some work, but yeah, we'll leave him on race strategy for now. I think, maybe. Got this period of time before he actually gets in the car. You know what, let's put him on wet track. Let's get his smoothness and his adaptability worked on. And then any boost to controller accuracy is just a bonus. And now let's welcome Oscar to his first training routine. So let's have a look at his pace stats. So he's 81 and 78. So he's comparable, slightly similar to Lawson. Slightly lower braking, slightly higher cornering. Adaptability is good, accuracy is good. Smoothness and overtaking could do with some work. Yeah, we're going to put him on race strategy. Smoothness and overtaking desperately need a bit of a bump, I think. And Enzo is still on short run pace, and we will leave him on short run pace. So let's take a look at our car. Is it good? Is it bad? If it's bad, how bad is it? Let's see. Oh, it's not great, is it? We've made definite steps forward in the DRS. Look at that, we've got the 5th best DRS now, which is effectively the 3rd fastest car when it comes to DRS. That's nice. Speed's not great. Acceleration is taking a big hit. That was one of our strengths last year. It's now worst on the grid. That's not so good. Downforce levels are still pretty low. Although our high speed and dirty air are the best of that. And our brake cooling, despite putting all that research into brakes, are still looking a bit sus. And engine cooling's looking pretty rotten as well. So there's a bunch of work we need to do on this car. The question is, how far off the average are we? Let's have a look. We're about 0.7 kilometers off the average top speed. We're not too far off the average acceleration. We are 3% above the average DRS. We're down 0.06 in low speed. Down about 0.05 in medium speed. High speed, we're down about 0.02. So we're actually not too far off the averages in the downforce. That's encouraging. Dirty air, we're just 3.5% off. Not even that. Brake cooling, though, that is... Oh, yeah. How is our brakes that bad? We're down significantly on brakes, and engine cooling's a little worse for wear as well. Okay. Need to think how we're going to go about this. Apparently I do have the Platinum for Bomber Crew. It's been a while since I played it. I couldn't remember, but thank you. Yeah, they are both fantastic games. Bomber Crew and Space Crew. Highly recommend them to anybody who's on the fence about them. They are just a lot of fun. Right. Let's start with a rear wing. I'm going to put... Do I put my hours into a rear wing? No, I'm not going to put the hours into the rear wing. We're going to put all the hours into an underfloor, I think. But we are going to go with a full-on intense build for this. So we want to really try and boost our speed. Not overly concerned about my DRS because my DRS is really effective. Let's just try and improve dirty air tolerance just a little bit. We'll take a little bit of life out of that wing as well, just to claw back some of that potential in our downforce cornering. And let's go with an intense build. That's 4.3 mil. That'll leave us with 8. And how many engineers do I want to put on this? This will take 43 days. Sakia is in 53. That is fine. Just one engineer is all I need on that. That'll maximize just how much we can possibly generate in terms of expertise with just one engineer and an intense build, and still have time to build at least 3 wings in time for Sakia. Excellent stuff. Right, underfloor. That has to be something that we put a lot of hours into because our downforce is lacking, and this is probably the best way to build that downforce is with the underfloor. And again, this needs to be an intense build to maximize that XP, but at the same time we want this before Sakia, and we want it in time to be able to build for Sakia as well. So trying to remember how long they take to build. Actually, let me have a quick back out a second. Let's go to manufacture and let's see how long it takes to build one. 8 days to build an underfloor. So I need 16 days between it being ready to, finished in the design process and ready for manufacture to the actual first race of the season. So we're going to pump, as I say, everything into our underfloor. And with this, I'm going to focus more on the downforce than I am on the drag. I do want to up my dirty air a little bit as well. Let's go to about there. Can I squeeze anything else in there? Can maybe get a little bit more medium speed. There we go. And again, we'll take a little bit of life off. Let's get it down to 3 to 6. Is that too much? Yeah, let's go to there. I don't really want to take it all the way down there. That's a bit too extreme. We'll go there, 3 to 6. Right, so we want intense. If I need 16 days, that means I need... That's 14, that's 17. There we go. 3 engineers, 36 days to build, 16 days to manufacture. That'll give me 52 days until Sakia. That's excellent. Right, how much money have I got left? 3.7 nearly. I've got enough for a chassis or a side pod. I don't know if I've got enough for a suspension. I think that might be a bit too expensive. It is. That's 3.9. That's more than I can afford. Engine cooling definitely needs a bit of work. And again, we can strip all the weight out of the side pods. There we go. Engineers, that's 35 days. I'm going to go 32 days, just to give myself a little bit more time, and I should be able to afford an intense. Yes, I can. There we go. So that's it for now. Just those 3 parts to start with. And that leaves me with a little bit of cash. I didn't check my facilities. Hospitality, not worried about that. Everything here is okay, but the helipad will break possibly before Bahrain. We might have to give that a little touch up. Staff facilities, got that race sim maxed out, and it's pretty close to full health as well, which is nice. Same with the team hub, it's pretty much full health, nearly maxed out. Car development facilities, our suspension simulator is almost finished. Actually, that's a good idea. It's a good thing we didn't go ahead with the suspension doing a suspension, because we're about to get an upgrade to the suspension simulator. Well, it's not specifically for suspensions this time round. Yeah, those are all things that are definitely factors on a suspension, including the brake cooling. So that would be a significant boost to do it in 5 days rather than now. CFD simulator is going to break soon. That's not good. Wind tunnel is fine, but level 1. Design center refurb is 22 days away. So we're going in slightly undercooked with some of our facilities. But could be worse. Right, let's advance some time. Right. Internal car report. We've already looked at that, haven't we? Yes, we did. So, here we go then. The team roster update for the 2024 season. It's the one that everyone always wants to see. Max and Checo will stay at Red Bull, and Charles and Sainz will stay at Ferrari. No surprises there, all under contract. Giovinazzi has gone from Ferrari to Red Bull as reserve. That's something I seem to see quite regularly. And Teo Pourchaire has gone to Ferrari. Ooh, Ferrari have got a real talent on their hands. All right, Aston Martin have Lance Stroll. Mercedes have George Russell. Has Hamilton re-signed? Yes, he has. Alonso's still at Aston Martin. Zane Maloney is their new reserve, replacing Felipe Drugovich. And Mercedes have signed Richard Bashaw instead of Schumacher. So Schumacher could be on the grid. Interesting. Let's have a look at Alpine. They have Ocon and Gasly. Haas remain unchanged with Magnussen and Hulkenberg, and the reserves. Alex Palou leaves McLaren and goes to Alpine. Dennis Hauger has signed for Haas. Interesting. Okay, next up, Williams. Alex Albon is still there, and that looks like Zhou. It is. It's Zhou Guanyu is their second driver. So, Yuki has gone to McLaren. We know that much. No sign of Schumacher, though. Has Schumacher gone to to Alfa Romeo, maybe? There you can see our lineup, and Jack Doohan is the reserve for Williams. And then McLaren is Yuki Tsunoda and Lando, with Felipe Drugovich as their new reserve. And Alfa have signed Schumacher alongside Bottas, and Iwasa is their reserve driver. So that is your 2024 driver lineup. Evening, George. Then we can see the F3 rosters at a quick glance. There we go. The F2 rosters. Donatella is a new gen. There was only one female driver in the game last season, and that was Sophia Flörsch. And now we have a couple in Formula 3, and we've got one who's gone straight into Formula 2 as well. There's another one, Veronica at Charus. And that's an interesting lineup for Trident, Hajar and Vesti. Right, rear wing deadline extension. Okay, how many days is it going to add? It's going to add 8 days, which I can't afford. I need that project to be ready when it's ready, so we're going to have to pay the overtime. Ah. Alright, suspension simulator upgrade is done. And it's something you don't see every day, polite mods. Well, we're a friendly bunch here. At least I like to think we are. As we whiz through January, got some scouting results back. There we go. Again, we're just looking to unlock details about these drivers. We're not in the market for anybody at the moment, so there's nobody we need to scout out. There we go. And the design center is now refurbed. Excellent stuff. Got some idle engineers. That's okay. They won't be idle for too much longer. Alright, no. So, end of the month, we got a new payment from the board. We've got 5.7 back in the bank, so we can start work on a new suspension now. Driver development updates. How have our drivers progressed this month? An improvement of 2 points in smoothness for Liam. That's good, because that's a weak area for him. And Oscar has improved his control by a point and his defending by a point. And Fittipaldi's gone up by a point in braking and 2 points in accuracy. Nice. Alright, let's get the pit crew sorted. So once again, I'm going to strip that out. Switch over to cumulative. And let's continue a week of nothing but gym training. There we go. And then we'll give them the Sunday off. And then we'll factor in a bit more drill training. A little bit more car training. There we go. Again, give them the Monday off, the Sunday off. Back to work on the Monday. They're going to work enough Sundays this year as it is, so I don't feel any shame in giving them Sundays off when there's no racing. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to be a little bit tired going into the Grand Prix, but not too bad. Let's just throw in one more day of training. Yeah, there we go. And we'll do the same here. We'll go 1 day of training. And then leave those days blank because it's a pretty quick turnaround, I think, to the next Grand Prix. Well, actually, let me check. Let's save what we've done so far. Let's go to the calendar. Oh, it's a 2-week break. Okay, so we can actually squeeze in a bit more training. So let's go back to our pit crew. And go back to our schedule and squeeze in a little bit more. There we go. I'm actually going to strip that day out. Give them the day after a race off. Again, just to keep their fatigue levels under control. There we go. So, that's our gains for the month. Right. Car part development. Let's get that final part up and running. Let's start the suspension and let's go again with an intense build. Now this one I want to be ready for Baku at the absolute latest. If we can get one for Melbourne, that would be nice. Let's go like that. There we go. Rear wing will be another 12 days away, but the side pods are ready tomorrow, which is nice. Underfloor's only 5 days away. Good. There is the side pods. Let's go to manufacture. So let's crank out 2 of those. There we go. With about 900 grand left. Hey, some good news. So, having originally had what was my original deadline? Okay, so it was originally the 13th, and then they said, oh, it'll be the 21st unless you pay us an extra 200 grand, and now they're turning around and saying, well, actually, we'll give it to you a week earlier. If I'd known that was going to happen, I wouldn't have approved the the overtime. Would have let it just turn up as normal. Right, let's start building these then. I need to think about this. Underfloor is 3 days away. How much are they going to cost to build, and how long are they going to take? They're going to cost 400 grand each. I need 2 of those. I need 800 grand there. Alright. How long until Bahrain? 20 days. We're going to hold off on the wings for now. Got to get the underfloors into production first. They're going to take a lot longer and they're more expensive. So there we go. 2 underfloors. So, is that 2? Or was that only 1? No, that is 2. I'll just end up with an extra bit of cash that I wasn't expecting. So, okay, let's go ahead and start building the wings as well then. Get 2 of those in place. And go to car parts. And let's get another one done. There we go. You don't get this game. George Russell is out and got a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Lewis. Well, that's how racing penalties go. If you caused a collision, you're going to get a penalty whether you stay in or not. Just because you accidentally ruined your own race doesn't mean you get to escape a penalty. That's exactly what happened to Schumacher. In '97, he tried to take out Villeneuve at Jerez and took himself out by mistake. Alright, pre-season testing results. This should be interesting. Obviously this is before we've put anything on the car. Let's just get the scouting situation done. How's the penalty going to be applied? If you can't serve a 5-second penalty during a race weekend, it becomes a 3-place grid penalty in the next race. So wherever you qualify, take 3 places off that, and that's where you'll start. What am I looking for? Oh, yes. So we'll scout out Nico now. Giovinazzi. Curious as to what kind of terms he signed with Red Bull. Oh yeah, Ricciardo's a free agent now, isn't he? I was trying to think who was missing off the grid. Evening, Daniel. How are you? Right, let's see our testing results. DRS has slipped slightly. I'm pretty sure that was 5th. Might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was 5th. Yeah, it was, because I said we had the 3rd best car for DRS, so yeah. That has slipped a little bit. Speed, acceleration, downforce still look about the same. Dirty air is a little bit better, but not by much. Brake cooling has slipped a little bit. Unfortunately, we haven't actually addressed our brake cooling with our new upgrades. Did I watch the final race of the F1 season? I did. It was a very average race, not a huge amount of excitement. Right, let's start slapping on some parts. So let's go to car 2. Start with the chassis, that's still the same. Front wing's still the same. Rear wing is the new rear wing, we'll install on car 2. Side pods, install on car 2. Underfloor, we've just installed on car 2. Suspension, we're working on right now. Right, let's see the difference between the car at the start of the year and the car that we have now. So let's go to Tauri and let's go to Oscar, and then we see the improvements that we have made. Nothing nothing that substantial. We have stripped a load of weight out of the car, which theoretically should help with the acceleration, but not that much, really. Not that much at all. We have gained a little bit on the DRS, but not that much. We have gained a nice little bit of speed, an extra 0.2 kilometers an hour. Dirty air tolerance has gone up a little bit. Downforce has gone up a little bit. Engine cooling has gone up by about, well, exactly 3%. So, yeah, small incremental gains, but it's still not a quick car. This is going to be rough. It's start to the season. Like I said, I'm expecting the changes that we've made in our backroom staff to pay more dividends the later we go into the season, as they get the chance to spend more time working on the car and get their fingerprints, get their fingers in the pie a bit more. But yeah, it's not the best of starts, really, is it? We haven't really improved as much as I was hoping we would since Christmas. We are still very low down the order. That is a little disconcerting. And technically we have downgraded our driver lineup in some respects. We've got rid of a very quick, if not somewhat erratic driver in Yuki for a not quite so quick and maybe less erratic driver in Oscar. We'll see how he performs, but we have a very young and probably the most inexperienced and least rated driver pairing on the grid, with a car that is not as good as I thought it would be. I think this could be a very painful Grand Prix. I think we could really struggle here at Bahrain. I'm a little nervous now about how we're going to do tonight, and I'm a little concerned about how we might do over the season. Will we even see the end of the season? Really hope we can turn things around. Because 6th is with the car that we've got right now, 6 is a huge ask. I don't think we can achieve that without a really lucky few races with unexpected point hauls. Not unlike we got at Baku last year, but we'd need more of them. Let's see. Do I think we can get a car into Q3? Hell no. Do I think we can get 2 cars in the top 12? No. Honestly, no, I don't think we can. I think we could... Oh, do I even think we can get both cars in Q2? I don't even think we can do that. Looking at those numbers, I don't think we can even get both into Q2. Finish position 1 of the top 12, it's achievable, maybe. Fastest lap is certainly not going to happen this year. Quali position 1 in 14th for 2 races. Edit on the finish position streak. I'm going to go 1 in 15th for 2 races. Just I want to see what we can do. We've got more parts to come and more performance to find pretty quickly, but yeah, this is okay. Let's go to Bahrain.
A very warm welcome to you all. It sure does feel good to be back. As we start a brand new season, the slate is wiped clean, and all 20 drivers prepare to make an instant impact ahead of an exciting year. Bahrain is known for high tyre degradation, as the asphalt here is so abrasive. The drivers are facing many low to medium speed corners, and any heavy braking will inevitably take its toll on the tyres.
The teams will be utilising the data they gathered from the pre-season testing here in Bahrain, hoping that they've got everything they need to make a strong start.
Now let's get the weekend underway.
Okay, so Oscar and Lawson. I'm going to give Enzo a run. I think. No, I'm gonna stick with Liam and Oscar. I want to get a nice, good pace comparison between the two over all 3 sessions, so I can see how our 2 drivers stack up against each other. We're going to go with 17 laps for a run, and we're going to go 2 runs. We're going to start with softs, and then we'll go hards and then mediums, or possibly mediums and hards, depending on how easy we can dial in the cars. And let's start with setups. Let's go with a 5, an 11.5, a 6.4, a 3.25, and a 0.3. There we go. So that's Lawson. Let's look at Oscar, the new kid on the block, and we'll go with something a little bit different. Let's go a 4.5 and 11, a 5.5, a 3.45, and a 0.6. Let's see how that works. Oscar's going to hit the tarmac first. And wouldn't you know, he's got the same helmet as Liam. What a surprise.
Yep.
Ugh, wish they'd sort that
Radio
out.
check is good.
Radio check.
Oh. I've already told him to pull over. Alright, well, we'll just keep an eye on lap times. We'll probably swap them over on the next stint as well.
A bit less curb.
Copy box.
Just going to watch Oscar's first lap.
Copy.
So the additional rules for hardcore mode remain unchanged this season, with the exception of us trying to sign Oscar, because we have now signed him. But the objective remains the same, to make him world champion. We'll see how this season goes. I may look to bring in Logan Sargent next year. We shall see how that goes. And the main reason I'm thinking that is it would just be nice to be able to actually see our drivers on the podium if and when we ever get to the podium. And at the moment, if Lawson gets to the podium, we won't see it because he doesn't have a head, so there'll be no podium celebration. Whereas if Oscar gets there, he will. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, if we're really struggling still towards the end of the season, we might have to stick with Liam because he'll be quicker than Logan. Well, he's already quicker than Logan, I think, because Logan is not going to be in the car at all this year by the look of it for anybody. So yeah, but all the other rules remain unchanged. So no drivers over the age of 26, I think it was. No one over the rating of 85. No getting rid of guys if their contract has still got more than a year left on it. And we still can't poach anyone from Mercedes, Ferrari or Red Bull until the end of until the end of this season. Next season we could look at bringing some guys in if we wanted to. So no Leclerc, no. Plus we couldn't afford him. I mean, it's not like we have a huge budget. You know, Charles Leclerc, it's going to cost me 25 mil a season plus, at least. So yeah, we're not signing Charles Leclerc. Right, let's speed some time up. Let's get some feedback in on these setups. I'm curious as to how Schumacher's going to do this year. I wonder how our drivers stack up against him. Zhou could do a decent job at Williams. And I'm really curious as to how Yuki's going to do at McLaren. He's comfortably faster than Norris right now, but I don't know if that's just because they've given him the first round of parts that aren't available for Norris yet, or if they're on different compounds, different fuel strategies.
How is the car?
Combination of all three. Let's have a look at feedback from Liam. He says it's okay. Oscar says it's not bad. So we'll leave them out there till their stint ends, and then we'll make some tweaks and send them back out again. One thing we do also need to be wary of as well is Lawson's had a good amount of time now to bed in with his engineer, but this is Oscar's first race with his. Now he's had since the beginning of the year, the calendar year, so he's had a couple of months to run with Spinny, with Mattia. So he will already have a basic partnership building up with him, but it's still not a good affinity yet, let alone a great affinity. So we can expect big losses in confidence when Oscar makes mistakes or gets overtaken. Although it should be negated a fair bit now for Liam. Right, the rear wing needs to change to an 11. The front wing, going to push up to a 5.5. I'm going to drop that to a 5.5. Go to a 3.4 and a 0.65. And on paper, that looks pretty good. Right, Oscar. Roll bar needs to change, so that's going to be a 6.4. Let's look at maybe pulling that back to a 4. Let's go to a 3.35 and a 0.35. It's close, but it's not quite there. Push that back to a 4.5. Just having a look at my previous setups. I've got a 4, an 11, a 6.4, a 3.40, and a 0.5. Be a bit more comfortable going with that though, I think. Let's give that a try. Welcome back, Baron. Where is the car in the ratings for the season ahead? Not great. Honestly, pretty pants. Yeah. But these first upgrades, I was never expecting massive things from these first upgrades. By going with the Intense, it's all about building the expertise, so theoretically the next ones will be better. They'll have much more of an impact, in theory. All the research didn't move me up. Well, no, I mean, we negated the worst of the impact of the reg changes. We actually made gains in those areas, but it's all relative. You know, obviously the rest of the grid's going to be gaining as well. And where we get percentage gains, that's percentages of what are already pretty piss poor figures. So a 10% gain for us is significantly less of a gain than a 10% gain to, say, Ferrari. Who would have had a much higher value, starting value. So we haven't gone backwards, I don't think. We're about where we were towards the end of last season. I don't think we've gone back. We've gone backwards in a couple of areas, but in other areas we haven't. And we're not too far away. I think with a few well-placed upgrades, we can be back into some kind of contention again reasonably quickly. What we do need to try and do this season is work on upgrading our car development facilities, because they are going to hurt us going forward if they stay as low as they are. So we need to get our CFD simulator refurbed as soon as that breaks, because that's about to break. If we can afford to upgrade it, even better, but I don't think we can. Wind tunnel's going to need an upgrade. It'd be nice to get the design center upgraded again. We've just refurbed it. And we have just upgraded the suspension simulator, which is nice, because that was, pretty low. So that's a nice little step forward.
And how's the car?
Right, 94%, so we gained 3%, I think it is, there with Oscar. not earth-shattering, but a step in the right direction. And 97% for Liam. That is definitely a step forward in the right direction. I think we will definitely be in contention for points in some races. Whether we'll be able to achieve our long-term goal, which is to score points in 12 races this season or not, I think that might be pushing it a bit. I guess we'll see as the season progresses. At what point in the season should you start researching stuff? It depends on how big the reg changes are, depends on how many parts are going to be affected, and how good your car is, what difficulty you're on. But generally, as a rule of thumb, the sooner the better. Just if you are competitive and you're fighting for things, don't sacrifice all your development. And focus purely on research. Balance it out. So you've got some development and some research. Alright, first session is over. I'm also looking quick. And we are not. Right. Setup tweaks. So, it's the front wing that needs to change. I'm going to bring that down to a 5 and correct like that. And I'm going to go with 42 laps and a set of mediums. And for Oscar, everything's just slightly off. That is going to be a 4 by the look of it. I'll push that to a 3.5. I'm going to increase that to a 0.6. Let me try that. Again, let's go with the medium tyres. Let's go with 42 laps of fuel. I forgot to actually pay attention to lap times in the last session, but I think they were probably pretty close. Can I actually have a look? Yeah, practice 1. So, let's have a look. Yeah, very close indeed, look. Less than a tenth between the two drivers. Liam's slightly quicker here, but that will vary across the different circuits, I think.
2. Should be great.
You're hoping I don't have to drain my ERS just to keep with the cars around me? No, I'm going to have to do that. I know I am. So as you can see, we have lost some outright pace in terms of our driver lineup by not having Yuki in the car. But I'm hoping we've gained a little bit more consistency. And by having two drivers who are so evenly matched, it should make keeping them together and being able to work together much easier as well. No change to Piastri. That's disappointing. I'm going to call him in. Take another look at that car. Did it not save the changes I made?
How was that run?
99% for Liam, so I should not have clicked the toe. That's an easy fix. So Liam is essentially done. Oh, we have made progress, but whereas we nailed some things, we've not moved up in the other direction, which suggests to me that we need to head that direction instead, which now means just the initial changes I made weren't big enough, and that sort of counter programming there should theoretically do it. Don't disappoint me, Farah. Hey, the Jim Bob giveth, the Jim Bob can taketh away. Alright, so let's have a look. Close to feedback again. Did I get it right?
Any feedback?
Close, very close. Just a little tweak needed. I misread that for a minute. I thought you said from the beast. But yeah, I suppose that would also potentially be applicable from what I've heard.
That's checkered flag.
So what is the little change that I do need to make? Is it the front wing? No, it's the cornering. Ah, okay, so let's take that down a little bit more. Let's go with that. Keep my fingers crossed on that. So 40 laps. And Lawson just needs a little click of toe. There we go. And again, 40 laps. I do want to hire Josh at the end of this season as well to replace Mattia. Which does potentially mean that I am resetting Piastri again next season, which is why I'm toying with the idea of maybe switching the engineers over. Probably should have done it straight away. Never mind. I'll leave as is, I think. We'll just have to take that hit. Don't really want to disrupt Lawson too much. Welcome to the Tinkerer Club. Once again, we're seeing very, very similar lap times between the two.
And how's the car?
Yes, there we go. That's better. 100%. And it should be the same for Lawson as well. There we go. So we're going to keep them running just to get the car part knowledge up a bit. Actually, what's their confidence level? It's going to be... It's going to be nearly 90% already, I think. I'm going to get them up to 75%, and I'm going to just call them in and say wear and tear on the car. I don't think the extra couple of percent is going to make a massive difference, so let's call them in now. Take a little bit less mileage off the car. Uh, 93%. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And it should be the same here. 93%. I'm good with 93%. I'm not going to get 100. I don't really see the point in running them for another half an hour just to gain a little bit more car part knowledge that's going to change very soon again, very quickly. So I'm very happy to leave them like that now. And like I say, we're saving half an hour's worth of running on the engine and the gearbox and the ERS, and we're also keeping a little bit more life in the aero parts, because they do wear out while we're running in practice, and the longer we run in practice, the less they can run in a race before they start to give up as well. I'm going to try and be a little bit more strategic with my practice sessions this year. Again, I mean, I'm already mentally factoring in having to buy a new engine at some point in the year, and you know, maybe a new gearbox, maybe a new ERS. Even though we've got those extra parts this year, we went through a lot last year. So to reduce that wear rate is a good thing, I think. It just gives me more options, you know, later in the season. Also, the less engine parts I have to buy, the more money I can put in the car. We lost 22-ish, 23 million of our cost cap just on engine parts last year. That would have been significant. That would have been almost a completely brand new car 4 parts, sorry, 6 parts, all with an intense build in terms of development. Last year, we would have certainly got 5 out of that money. Depending on the parts. Well, there we go. It's time for quali.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Qualifying consists of 3 periods, with the slowest drivers eliminated after each one. With the pressure mounting, who can secure a strong starting position for the race?
Karun, if we could perhaps talk about Lewis for a moment. How do you think he's feeling?
They set a great lap in practice, so you can only imagine how good they're feeling going into qualifying. But the big question is, will they be able to keep this performance up?
There's not much left to say, so let's get into it.
So, I'm going to approach qualifying a little bit differently this time around as well. Instead of doing 2 flying laps, I'm going to do 1 flying lap, bring them in, and immediately send them straight back out again. And the reason for that is, you actually, when you complete a flying lap, you get a little boost to your confidence level. But it's at the end of the run, not per flying lap. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just the way it's been coded. So if we were to do a 2-lap run, then we would go out lap, flying lap, cool down lap, flying lap, in lap, and then at the end of that second flying lap, that's when we would get the completed flying lap bonus. This way, we do 1 extra lap, but we get 2 confidence bonuses. So I'm going to try it this way, at least for the first few races, and see if it helps. If it doesn't, we'll play it by ear.
Should be green now.
Lewis has got to retire at some point. You predict end of this season. We'll see when we get back to HQ after this Grand Prix. We'll take a look at his contract status and see what his renewal terms were. He might have signed a 1-year deal, he might have signed a 2-year deal. I get the feeling it's probably going to be a 2-year deal.
We focus on tires and brakes. Tires and brakes.
Yeah.
Evening Turf, you signed Porsche as your reserve for Season 2. Yeah, he is officially the Alfa Romeo reserve driver, so that makes sense. Although technically, not Alfa Romeo anymore. Don't know exactly what they're going to be called yet, but the general consensus is that they're going to go back to being called Sauber for the next 2 years. And then they'll become Audi in 2026. We're also still waiting to find out what Alpha Tauri are going to be. There has been a trademark filed for Racing Bulls. Whether that is just a parent company or is to encompass both teams, or it's a merchandising thing, I don't know, but it's potential. In the same way that when Lawrence Stroll bought Force India, he renamed them Racing Point. We might see this team rebranded to Racing Bulls. We'll have to see. No announcement has officially been made yet.
Gap ahead is good. Go 1.
Straight out, track is clear. Charge off and push.
So both drivers have clear track for their first flying run. We're going to ride on board with Oscar for his first ever lap in anger in this car. Yellow flag. Oh, who's that for? Oh, it's Lawson.
Yeah, I made a small mistake.
Lawson's made a mistake.
Now this happens down at turn 8. And the car just locks. They were just unable to do much about it.
Luckily, I left a big enough gap that Lawson got back underway without having to pause and wait, but yeah, that's not ideal. And we're taking extra life out of the tyres as well. We'll find out how much when he gets back to the garage. But Lawson will still go top of the timings briefly until Oscar crosses the line. There we go. That could have been a peak confidence for him, but
keep it negative. Cool as much.
not so much in the end. Nearly peak confidence for Oscar. I think that's pretty much where Lawson would have been, maybe slightly higher had he not made that mistake. 5.7 seconds slower. Piastri is faster than Schumacher. So we are faster than the slower of the two Alfa Romeo drivers. That's something, I suppose. Oh, 85%. That's not good. Right, we'll follow out Yuki. Let's see what kind of time we can do compared to Yuki. I think he's going to be quicker than us by a fair bit. Oh, we're going to screw up that lap for the Aston driver. Sorry, Stroll. Didn't mean to.
So let's prepare the lap. Copy.
I was waiting for you to go all Breaking Bad and throw up Elliot Schwartz there, Farah. Could be on for a nice slipstream here. And then again, dirty air could screw us over.
Clear ahead. Good to go.
There is Norris in front of you.
Charge off and push.
Oh, bad lap for Max. Down in 6th place. But only a second off the pace. Expect to see an improvement from him. We are quicker than the Williams. That's a surprise. Well, Haas, I don't know if that's a representative time for Hulkenberg. Given how far off he is, I don't think it is. See what Magnussen does. He's just finishing Sector 2 now. Got a Ferrari on his tail. That'll be Leclerc on an outlap. Magnussen is just finishing Sector 1 now. So definitely going to be an improvement for Lawson. It's a nice slipstream. Oh, a little lift at the end there, but it's bumped him all the way up to 7th, thanks to that toe.
7. That's a good lap. So cool as
Piastri, identical final sector.
So we are
stays in 11th. The fact that we actually stayed with Yuki
This is lap.
without losing time, actually went faster than him, is encouraging. Because we struggled in dirty air, but that seems to have been lessened. Our ranking still isn't great, but the performance in dirty air has definitely improved significantly. That's the other thing as well, it's all relative, like I said. Our rankings aren't great, but we're not too far away from the average at all. And in terms of the cars around us, we might be in better shape in certain parts. Right, so Magnussen's done a 1.2 second off the pace lap. That's more what I was expecting to see. Leclerc and Ocon are both going to go faster than us. That's going to put Piastri in danger. Lawson is certainly not safe, even though he's 10th right now. I have to send them out again. I think just to be on the safe side, we'll put new tyres on them. Get ready to send them out. Does putting the drivers in clean air work sometimes? It can help if they're in a position where they're not quite ready to overtake. It can sometimes put them in a position to actually pull out and make an overtake, but they're the only circumstances you really want to do that. You certainly don't want them riding in clean air during a race, because it's taking them off the racing line.
Good braking where you can.
And you certainly don't want to do it in qualifying for the exact same reason. You'll lose too much time. Stroll on an outlet. No, he's not. Stroll's on an inlet. So now I'm going to worry about him. I've got a McLaren sneaking up behind me pretty quickly. I don't know which one that is. That's Yuki. So Oscar's not going to get held up now. There's a risk here. Yep, there we go. Yuki goes through.
You got a good gap ahead. Do your best.
So we'll ride on with Oscar because he is the one who's at risk right now. Yuki should pull out of the way before turn 1, I hope. Yes, he does. Okay, so Lawson does not get held up at turn 1 that I can tell. And he should pull out the way before Oscar gets to turn 4. Yes, he does. Good. So no improvement for Lawson. Maybe a slight delay, but also he was getting a toe last time, so maybe that's why there's no improvement. Oscar does improve.
Let's check a flag.
Why not try and take manual control? It doesn't do anything other than make your outlap slightly quicker. It doesn't make your car magically faster. It just means you do your outlap a bit quicker. That's it. I only do it if I've got traffic concerns. Still no improvement from Liam. Hopefully he's going to be okay. It's all down to whether Magnussen improves. Hulkenberg has. He's just slower than Lawson. Hopefully Piastri is going to knock out Hulkenberg, but it does put Lawson at risk if he goes faster than Liam. Has Oscar done enough to get through? No, he's just missed out. So, my prediction was true that we'd only get one car out of Q1. Missed out by nearly 2/10 in the end. And the only reason Lawson got through was he got a nice little slipstream, so... yeah. We would have got one car through, but it would have been very close as to which one actually made it. Okay, not horrible. It's about what I was expecting. Let's see what we can do with Lawson in Q2.
Should be great.
Is this the same car from last season? I think we were probably slightly quicker last season at this point of the season in comparison to the rest of the cars around us. So, this is again going to be a slow lap because this is very used tyres. So we're just going to whiz him round. 30.9 is way off the pace.
Okay, copy.
Send him out again on these same tyres, see if we can squeeze a small improvement out of them, and then use the tyres we used at the end of Q1 to set his final lap.
Currently P15.
So, no improvement in lap time, but we did get the extra little flying lap boost at the end there, a little bonus to the confidence. That'll set him up nicely for a run on almost new tyres. Yeah, one thing that also needs to be taken into consideration with this playthrough is that we are playing with the new higher difficulty settings for car development as well. So lesser gains for us, and the AI is more aggressive with their upgrade paths. So it's going to be tough. It's going to take a while to get this car, up the rankings. Let him through. So this is it then. This is the money lap.
So you can push.
Let's see if we can make it a good one. Running a couple of tenths off Hulkenberg, but I'm expecting him to improve. Hamilton currently in the drop zone in 13th. Oof. I know one of my admins is going to be extremely happy about that. That wasn't ideal, getting caught with the Alpine there. Well, we have still improved in the first sector, that's good. Haas going to get in the way.
Let's check the flag.
Up in the middle as well. Can we get Liam off the bottom here? No. It's the answer. Oh dear. Did he even improve? No, he didn't. He was a tenth. He was 100th slower. He got held up in the final set, or he just lost a bit of time in the final sector. That's not good. Hulkenberg stayed where he is. Hamilton is out. He's on a cooldown lap. Hamilton is out in 13th. Ooh, big casualty. Bottas on a cooldown lap as well, so no one else is going through. That is it. That's your top 10. Tsunoda, Norris, Stroll, Russell, Gasly, Leclerc, Sainz, Alonso, Perez and Verstappen. Very close between the Red Bulls.
The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap.
Let me ask you, Karun, how do you fancy the Tauri drivers' chances for this race?
They've been performing well and doing exactly what the team is asking of them. They've just got to keep doing what they're doing.
But which team has perfected the strategy that will see them prevail here at the Bahrain Grand Prix?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? It's not going to be us. We'll hopefully improve slightly, but we're not going to be a serious contender for this one. I'm going to go really aggressive at the start here. We're going to go for that for our strategy, I think. Really push these tyres hard in this race. Same with both drivers. There we go. I'm going to throw in 1 lap of extra fuel, so I can push hard through the, a good chunk of the first stint. I'm going to try and hold the battery back if I can, just at least for, a lap. Let's see what we can do from 15th and 16th.
Here in Sakir, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit. And
It's now been on the second row. Wow, I was looking at the Q2 results. Didn't even think about
Q3
Q3.
is a decent starting position, and they should get a good haul of points if they play the race right.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Gasly's on the front row.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Keep pushing, you're not coming. Grab
So he held position. Oh, a nice move from Lawson to dive up the inside of Hulkenberg there. Hasn't completed the move yet, so I'm going to give him some battery here just to make sure he gets it done.
You are free to use the energy when you want. Copy box.
Yeah.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Yeah, Williams have slipped. They're down in 17th and 18th right now. That's a bit of a surprise. McLaren have definitely gained in winter testing. They're 9th and 10th. Both cars made it into Q3. But the field has definitely tightened up a bit as well. Albon putting some pressure on Oscar there. Wilson's already dropped a second off the back, so
Use energy.
let's start using the battery now as Hulkenberg gets back through and Albon's making a move. Albon just goes straight through our car there. One of your drivers got a 20-second time penalty. How did you get a 20-second penalty? Was it from that collision? It must have been 4 contacts. That would be 4 penalties. So 4 5-second penalties. That translates to 4 3-place penalties in the next qualifying if they're not served. So that would be 12 places. Yeah, if you've got 20 seconds, that'll be 4 separate contact penalties. So each one of those will be worth 5 seconds. Each one unserved will be 3 places on the grid for the next race.
DRS is enabled. P15. Car ahead Hulkenberg. Albon behind.
Right, there we go. We're back past Nico. Still got some battery left, but not much. Enough for a couple of corners. We'll have to think about turning it down. Can we maybe get a run on Valtteri, who is on mediums? He's hanging on to the back of Lewis there. Need Oscar to get a wriggle on and get past Albon as well. Oh, here's a chance up the inside, maybe. Nope, not quite. But we did break away from Hulkenberg. Now I'm going to drop the battery and the tyres down.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
So we need one step more management.
Yeah.
Hamilton is so far struggling to keep up with Ocon. As Norris gets past Sainz, looks like McLaren have definitely taken a jump forward. The real proof of that will be if he can close the gap up to Stroll without losing position. Lawson has now dropped off the back of Valtteri, who's got past Hamilton. Oscar's struggling at the moment.
Stay close to the car.
Pace stats are looking good though. In terms of, well, his confidence level's looking good. Oh, well, maybe not. There goes Zhou. Just letting through. Just outside the ability to get back in battery range, so we'll get the DRS. I meant DRS range, not battery range. So we'll get back into
recharge on.
a decent battery level and stay in DRS by staying behind Zhou. Just going to watch out for Magnussen. Hulkenberg has now dropped behind Albon.
Charge on, charge on. Copy.
Don't sign George Russell. Well, I hate to tell you this, but
Overtake button.
I made George Russell a world champion in our last playthrough. I made Hamilton champion in season 1 with McLaren and Russell in season 2.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Now we can push one step more on tires.
Copy.
Lawson in peak confidence. Season 1 was mostly forgettable. Behave yourself.
Recharge on, recharge on. Copy.
Oscar's confidence has dipped quite a bit, unsurprising, with those 2 overtakes.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Okay, we charge on, recharge on.
Copy.
We are almost out of bonus fuel already after just 6 laps. Well, just 5 laps. Wow, we burned through that pretty quickly. A lot quicker than I was expecting.
Copy.
No, don't lose position to Alex.
Bring the pack up.
He's on crapper tyres. Ah, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. All right. Harvest.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Copy.
Charge on. Copy.
So we've got a very clear breakaway group at the front here, which is Red Bull, Alpine, one of them anyway, one of the Mercedes, one of the Ferraris, one of the Astons. Oh, big lockup for Lawson, who's trashed his tyres.
I didn't want the tyre.
He didn't want to, but you did. That would have absolutely killed his confidence last season, but this season it's just hurt his confidence.
Back off now.
Okay, mate, copy.
Overtake button. Copy. Use energy.
Copy that.
Recharge on, recharge on. Copy.
Looks like Schumacher's going to be the slowest driver on the grid this year. But again, he's not that far off. Field is definitely more compact this season. We've got that one breakaway group, and then it's very tight behind from Sainz in 8th all the way down to Oscar. It's a relatively tight field. There's not much spread.
Use and deploy when you can.
Yeah, copy.
Stay close to the car in front.
So we can force the issue a little bit with Oscar. I think if we could get into clean air, we could possibly go a little bit faster than we're doing right now, but it's so hard to get the overtakes because, as I say, car performance is quite similar up and down the midfield here. And the dirty air is definitely going to hamper us a little bit.
Recharge on. Copy.
Alright, there we go. Oscar's confidence boosted a little bit.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Copy.
I don't think I can run the risk of trying to put them into recharge.
Copy.
Just going to leave them in top up at the absolute most for battery saving here. Otherwise I'm going to drop too far out of range too quickly. Lawson's tyres have dropped below 60%, which is why he is struggling pace-wise. Plus his confidence, of course. Hopefully that will rebound a little bit quicker. What's he on right now? Neutral modifiers. Where applicable, I am probably going to continue the practice of retiring tyres early if they're out of contention for anything. Again, to save wear and tear on both the aero parts and the engine parts as well. And we will continue to keep hammering in pit stops before we retire, like we did last season, just to try and get a bit of a jump start on the competition this year if we can. Because that money was very, very useful for us, and we could use that again. I don't think we'll hang on to the title this year. I think we'll get passed up by some other teams this year, but any kind of prize money is good money. Slow rebounding for Lawson, but he is very much off the pace. So I'm going to bring him in a bit earlier than planned.
Push more.
Copy.
I'm going to bring him in much earlier than planned, actually.
Push more.
Copy.
Oscar is still just about hanging on to the back of Hulkenberg and Zhou. I kind of need to start thinking about fuel saving as well.
Lift off.
Say fuel saving. Stop the fuel burn at any rate. Push Oscar a little bit harder through here. Getting back in range because he's just drifting. Get back in, get back in, get back in. He's just going to miss. I'll keep Magnussen behind me. Maybe. Maybe not. Still just out of range.
Charge on.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like I just missed the DRS. I did. Oh dear. We are slow. Worryingly slow. Ah. And now a collision.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a closer look. And if we watch Magnussen, now there's an inviting opportunity there. And the impact on the car,
I don't know whose fault that is, according to the game. I mean, on track it kind of looked like it was maybe Oscar's fault, but I don't know. Might just be a racing incident, no penalties at all. .135.0 for Sainz. Much quicker than we're doing right now. And no penalties. Okay, that's something. Magnussen's tyres suffered in that as well.
box.
Copy, box.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Copy.
Gasly's still up there in third. Well, he's just dipping out of range, so he might get past this lap. Yep, Leclerc just got him. But he got him at the end of the lap, so there's a chance that Pierre might get back past Charles again with DRS. Not quite. He'll have it again out of turn 3. Alright, first pit stop of the year for any team. Can we make it a good one? 2.5 on the nose, that's not bad.
Clear on exit. Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
Haas are definitely looking a bit slow and a bit sluggish compared to the rest of the grid. I'd say at the moment we're on pace with Haas and Williams in terms of our actual pace. But again, it's hard to know exactly if that's right. With everybody running in DRS, we don't know who's getting a tow, who's being held up. But one thing's for certain, Hamilton is struggling in this race. Bottas has been ahead of him for a while. We are starting to get a little bit more of a separation now. Yuki has dropped off the back of Lando.
Box. No.
Box.
And I'm going to have to pause for a quick bathroom break when we get to the pits because I can't go another hour. I'm going to have to take a quick disappearing act. Gasly's in. Let's see where he comes out. He's going to come out around the Haas drivers. He's going to be behind at least one of them, if not both of them.
Copy.
All right. There we go. I shall be back in just a moment. right, let's continue, shall we? This isn't going to plan. Most of the coders will continue complaining. Yeah, it is. It's been a bit tough, hasn't it?
Track is clear.
It will definitely make reaching the podium much sweeter, which is why I'm hopeful that it'll be Piastri that does it, not Lawson. Because, you know, it'd be nice to have a face on that podium and actually see the podium.
Charge on.
Yeah, copy.
Brown thinks maybe midfield car by halfway through the season. Depends how well our upgrades go against the AI. We already have seen, after a year of development, it's tough this time round. Until we can get our facilities to a high enough level, we might just be treading water for the next year or two. I really hope that's not the case. I hope we can definitely make some progress forward this year. Right, the teams are starting to box, so it's time for us to start splurging the battery.
Use deploy as
So
much
we
as you
can
can.
maybe get some kind of undercut.
Yep.
Even if it's not for positions, at least in terms of gaining a little bit of time back. Albon's going to be out the pits long before we get to him. I'm definitely going to be more aggressive with development this year than we were last year. I was quite cautious at times with some because I was a little concerned about finances. And then we stopped developing very early on to focus on research, and then kind of picked up a little bit of development towards the end again, but I think I'll just be a bit more aggressive with the development this year, a bit more consistent with it as well. Banging out a new part, at least one new part every ATR period. I showed it over one lap. I can always out-qualify the car. I can always find more pace in qualifying by really maximising my driver's confidence level. The trouble is that it's very hard to maintain that level of confidence in a Grand Prix. It can happen, but you need things to go your way, and clearly it hasn't so far in this one. Oh yeah, fear not. I have no intent to walk away from this team. It's just whether the team has an intent to walk away from me or not. That's going to be the question. So, a 135.5 for Oscar. Getting a little bit of time on the cars in front. A 136.0 for Liam. How's Liam's confidence looking? Back up into high just, so he is getting some modifiers again. That's good. Let's check in with Oscar. He's still in the low. Oh, hello, yellow flag. Someone has spun out. Can't see who.
Yellow. Copy.
Oh, Joe. It's one of the cars we're competing with, actually, so that helps. And that's before he makes his pit stop, so he's almost certainly going to stop now, I would imagine, at the end of this lap, because he will have just trashed what's left of those tyres. Yeah, down to 25%. But yeah, 10.5 seconds off the back of Albon. That's not good.
Charge on.
Yeah, copy.
And there is Joe boxing.
No units available, no units available.
Yep.
What's my lap times compared to those around you. Difficult to say exactly because we've just boxed for fresh rubber and they're still on old tyres. So we've got a slight pace advantage at the moment, but it won't stay that way. We have come out right behind Joe here. Stay tucked up behind him if we can. Lawson has clawed back a little bit of time to Schumacher, but he's still behind him by 5 seconds. Perez box from the lead. Shows on the same tyres as us. I'm wondering why we were losing time so quickly to Albon. It's because he's pushing hard on brand new softs. So we're now 12.5 seconds behind Albon. We've lost quite a bit of time in just the laps. Right, here comes Bottas and Hulkenberg and Magnussen in the pits.
Charge on.
And we have jumped Magnussen. He's gone on to softs though. Schumacher's on softs, and we're kind of holding pace with him right now. Not really dropping, not really gaining anything substantial. I would expect him to start closing up a little bit to us. And I can definitely see us being under threat from Magnussen in a lap or so. So it would be nice to maybe get a move done here on Zhou. We are 3 seconds off the back of Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg also on soft, so it's unlikely we'll be able to keep pace with him.
And use anti-deploy.
Copy.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Just trying to work the battery in the most efficient way here.
Use anti-deploy, use anti-deploy.
That might have been a touch too much.
Anti-deploy when you can.
Copy.
Yuki and Hamilton are both flying in the end. Chance of an undercut against them.
Press and overtake.
Yeah.
lift off to avoid instability.
Copy.
Then again, maybe not. We've got past Tsunoda though. So Tsunoda's early pace looks like it was being helped along by the fact that he was in the DRS train, and as soon as he broke away from that train, he started dropping back.
Recharge on.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll do a little bit of lap time comparison now. So we're about 10th, I'd say about level pace with Schumacher, but Schumacher's on softs, Lawson's on medium, so we have got pace over him. Same with Magnussen. Magnussen not really showing any pace at the moment. 136.5, and that's soft tyres. See what happens to Tsunoda. I expect him to be quicker than us, given where he qualified. Bottas and Albon are definitely lapping faster than we are, but again they're on softs. But the only people on mediums are us, Zhou, Norris and Leclerc right now. And I think Norris is still on his starting tyres. I'm wondering actually, we've gone 22 laps. Are we looking at one stops here from some of these front runners? They can go about 25, 26 laps on those softs, if not more. We're looking at one-stop territory. Dropping off the back of Zhou. Need to stay with him.
Copy.
Stay close to the cars.
I think a few cars are pushing at the moment, including Zhou, which is why we're struggling. And Perez has just blitzed past Norris like he wasn't even there. So I think Norris might have been on the push lap last lap. If he was, he's not this lap. Or not to the same degree anyway. Could be that Perez is just flooring it. Out of battery. I get back in range. I think I just about managed it. Oh, it's close up to the line.
Recharge.
Please tell me I got it.
Copy.
I need it. Oh, yes. Whew. I thought for a second I hadn't got it. Schumacher has pushed, as is evidenced by the fact he suddenly pulled out nearly 2 seconds over Lawson. So Schumacher's been on the push lap. Yeah, Norris doing a 137. That's more indicative of his actual pace right now. As long as I can stay with Zhou. Oh, I'm getting a spinny circle. Is anyone else getting a spinny circle? Anyone else's stream just hang for a moment? Yeah. Oh, I get nervous now every time I see that. Yeah, Lawson's pace is really falling away. Schumacher's pushing at the moment. Lawson's just slow. I don't understand why he would suddenly have dropped off on his pace. He's just not consistent. Look, he's bouncing around from the mid 36s to the mid, to the low to mid 37s. His confidence level's drifted back towards its starting level. Oscar is still struggling to get his confidence back up. Oh, he's just been overtaken by Magnussen, that's why. And Tsunoda's about to have a lunge as well. At least we held Tsunoda back. That would have been a disaster. And he's going to fight his way through anyway by the look of it. This is where having a poor relationship between driver and engineer does not help.
Use everything.
Yeah, copy.
Stay close to the car in front.
Overtake button.
Copy.
I think Lawson is probably going to get lapped. I think if I can't start closing that gap down to Schumacher, I think we might just think about retiring Lawson early. I mean, I'm even struggling with Oscar here just to stay on the back of Yuki, but I think Oscar has more of a chance of actually getting into a top 15 place. What do the sponsors want? One in the top 15 for 2, one in 12th. Yeah, that's not happening. Yuki pushing right hard at the moment. Fastest lap of the race. I think I can find some pace with Oscar if I can get him back up in the confidence a little bit and also get him onto some soft tyres. I don't know if I can actually do anything with Liam though. I think he's just too far back to do anything.
We can just focus on charging him.
Copy box.
I'm struggling with Oscar here as well. He's now out of battery.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
This has been a very bad opening to the season so far. A lot worse than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting us to be knocking on the door of points in this race, but I thought we'd be a comfortable 15th, 14th. And right now we are struggling. But we do have that tyre offset. Trouble is, I think all the cars in front of us started on the mediums. Let's see. Magnussen's got mediums to come. Tsunoda, Hulkenberg going softs again. Stroll is one-stopping, look. Interesting. Schumacher's going soft again. One stop for Russell, Alonso, Verstappen. Don't know. Sainz is two-stopping, I think. As is Ocon. Gasly has got to go mediums. Norris is definitely one-stopping. He's up 6 places. He's in 3rd place right now. with softs to come. He's going to be quick in the closing stages. I don't know about these two. They might be two-stopping. I'm pretty sure those are probably two-stopping, actually. But I think these three are definitely one-stopping, as is Stroll. Yeah, a lot of cars going onto another set of softs around us. And we are just going gradually backwards right now. Absolutely zero pace. I have to say, I am feeling a little disheartened, despondent right now.
So we need to back off.
Copy.
If our performances continue along this vein, we probably will not be seeing out the end of this year. Not with that new and improved finishing 6th place objective that the board gave us. Alright, let's have a look further up the order. So Hamilton's got himself up to 9th with his teammate right behind him. George going to the end. Hamilton is going to be stopping again for another set of softs, so that will drop him further down the order. But he'll be quick in the closing stages. I'm really curious to see how this one stop's going to work out here. And it's not like 1 or 2 cars are doing it. We've got at least 4 cars going for a one stop here. And different teams as well. Five, I think, if you include Norris. We've got a fight here between Ocon and Sainz. Gasly is in the back of that as well. He's punched his way back up the order after that early stop of his. Alpine looking quick. Lawson now nearly 13 seconds behind Schumacher. Lawson's race is done, so we are going to call him in. Let's put him on a fresh set of mediums. Sorry, fresh set of softs.
Box, box.
Copy, box.
Bring the pack up.
Copy.
I'm going to do a flying lap or two with Lawson on soft just to see what kind of pace potential we've got in the car. See if it's worth keeping Oscar out there. But we are going to be retiring Lawson early. It's slightly slower than his first stop.
Caution one on exit.
That's Perez. And Norris makes his one and only stop. There's a set of softs waiting for him. Norris has got the smoothness to make this work and still have decent pace. That was a pretty good looking stop as well. He's going to get out ahead of Yuki, who has to stop again.
You can start to push more in the high speed if you can.
Copy that.
Use energy.
Okay, copy.
So, baseline confidence level. Enough battery for one flying lap. Brand new tyres. Full burn. What can Lawson do? Oscar, meanwhile, now 8 seconds off the back of the cars in front. Maybe I should have started on the mediums. Maybe this is going to make the one stop viable for next season. Our driver's smoothness rating and our brakes are not good enough, I don't think, for us to be able to effectively pull off the one stop, but at least this season, but who knows next season. Also, meanwhile, having a good lap. He's taken 3 seconds out of Schumacher so far.
No more overtake.
There we go, it's the end of his battery.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Okay, mate, copy.
Sets the fastest lap at 1:32.8. That's a mighty impressive pace. It won't stay the fastest lap, that will get beaten.
Look after the tyres.
Absolutely guarantee that.
save fuel.
Copy.
So now we're just running for a couple of laps like this and see what his pace is like without pushing too hard. I'm actually going to thrash these tyres now on Oscar. Bring him in earlier than planned.
Copy.
The last thing I want is to be passed by Schumacher. That will hurt Oscar's confidence even more. It's just about recovered. Schumacher is pushing. .35.4 for Lawson. It's a leader's pace, but it's leaders on older tyres against Lawson on new tyres, so doesn't really mean too much. Let's see if we can get him back. Just haven't been able to keep any confidence in Oscar in this race, which has really hampered us. Like I said, we knew this was going to be an issue. Every time he gets overtaken or makes a mistake, he was going to have big confidence losses because he's got a weak relationship with Matthias Spinney at the moment. That will improve as the season goes on and that relationship strengthens. I'm also thinking we need to switch focus on our drivers and get them working on their pace again, on their short run pace, just to get their cornering and braking stats up as high as we can this year. And not worry so much about their smoothness rating or their overtaking ability. Another 135, low 135 for Lawson. Let's call him in at the end of this lap for a set of mediums. And then we'll retire him after this pit stop. Unavoidably AFK for 20 minutes, anything happened. Yeah, we went even slower. But no incidents, no drama. No mistakes, just no pace. Alright, final stop of the night for Liam. That's slower than his first stop still.
Watch the pit
and that's it for his night. He will be retiring.
Boxing this lap. box. We're going to retire the car.
One more lap for Oscar.
Box.
Box.
That's not good. We've lost an entire pit stop to Yuki in this stint. Oh dear. Yeah. We need to really crank up the development on this car. Start churning out another round of upgrades of the parts we've already worked on. So another underfloor, another rear wing. Use the expertise gained from those first parts to quickly knock the second ones out of the park a little bit. Ooh, yellow flag. Nothing important, just a little lockup for Gasly.
Copy.
That's not bad. That's a definite improvement on his last stop.
Is clear.
So I think we've got the two fastest stops right now.
Back off, back off, back off.
Yep, copy.
Right, we're starting to see some other stops as well. Perez and Hamilton both in. Perez comes out on new softs. Norris sets a new fastest lap. Hamilton coming out on new softs. Bottas in 10th right now. Does he have to stop again? Yes, he does. Magnussen's in. And so is Schumacher. Mediums for Magnussen. Slow stop as well. Softs for Schumacher. Right, we've come out right behind Schumacher, so we have clawed back a little bit of ground with the earlier pit stop.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Schumacher is going to absolutely hammer those tyres in a moment, so I'm just going to wait and bide my time.
12 the tires.
Yep, copy.
Make sure I can get the battery nice and full. Stay with Schumacher when he sprints, and then brake past him once he's finished his little push for 2 laps or so. And try and go after Magnussen. Hulkenberg in now. Loose off for Hulkenberg. Right, not seeing the expected push from Schumacher.
Overtake button.
Copy.
We're going to make our move now. See how quickly we can go after Magnussen. Yeah, Magnussen. Well, that doesn't help.
We need to cool the car.
Copy.
Come on, make the move. There you go. The insides. Wow, that was hardly air. Oh no, I was going to say that was personal best in the sector. There's the confidence boost for the overtake. But it took a lot longer to get that move done than I would have liked, which means Schumacher is going to be right on our gearbox in this DRS zone. Hamilton now sets a fastest lap of 1:31.2. It's closing up onto Sainz really quickly right now. Who is 5 seconds off the back of Norris, but with much better tyres. That gap should come down. And at the end of that lap, we did not break away from Schumacher.
We need to do lift off.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Copy.
Oh, this is so soul destroying to see us struggling to stay with Schumacher in an Alfa Romeo.
Charge on.
I just don't understand why we're so slow. I know confidence has been an issue, but even so, there's no way our car should be this bad. I all that research we did, I was expecting us to make just a small step forward. That was all, just a small step. And we made some nice gains, but somehow the AI has made even bigger gains and overtaken us.
Charge on.
Copy.
We need to push harder on tires, they are looking good now.
Yep.
Well, there we go. That's it. That's our race done.
Box. Try to bring it back. Sorry.
Just to get into the top 15 would mean we would need to be able to find over 20 seconds in the remaining 14 laps. We do not have anywhere near that kind of pace. So let's just save the car. There's a lot of head scratching to be done. We need to go into a breakdown of our car in a bit more depth, I think, to see exactly where we are weakest. But yeah, very disappointing start to the season. Right, we've still got about 20 minutes of running to do, so I'm just going to speed it up a bit. If we get anything dramatic happening, I'll slow it back down again, but yeah, this has been a tough one to take. I want to get to the end of this race now. Leclerc's pace suddenly dropping away dramatically. His tyre's gone. But this will be a very fast fight. Look how close it is still though, between 4th to 9th. Look how close they are on track. We're talking 4 seconds, 5 seconds at most. Hamilton gets up the inside of Norris. He is probably the most likely to improve his position. Sainz has been off the boil all Grand Prix. I can see him getting past and Lewis breaking away from him. Let's see what kind of lap times Leclerc pumps in. Hamilton will get the DRS here as well, and that should be it. Leclerc with a 1:32.5 on that last lap, but I think that may still have been pit affected. Let's see what he does at the end of this one. Ferrari's not looking amazingly quick right now. Does look as though, on paper, the real challenge this season is going to come from Aston Martin. But again, you can't really necessarily make a prediction based off just the first race. .32.3, so that was a genuine lap time for Leclerc. That 32.5 he did on the previous lap. He's going to catch Norris. He may even catch Sainz and Hamilton, who have actually separated out a bit. Sainz pushing onto the back of Russell now. Ocon has got himself up into 4th place. Has he got the grip left to go after Alonso? Norris is staying with Leclerc, who is not closing as quick as I thought he would. Although he just pumped another quick lap in. He should theoretically have the pace to catch Hamilton. Sainz less of a guaranteed thing. Russell now trying to hold off Sainz. And I don't think he'll be able to. Sainz has suddenly just found some pace. After struggling for a while, he's suddenly upped his game a bit. That's him up to 6th. Next up is Stroll. And Ocon is hunting down Alonso. He's got plenty of time left as well to get the move done. And despite Schumacher having had no pace in this race, he's still not in danger of being lapped. But look at this fight that's brewing here. You got Stroll with Sainz a second behind him, then both of the the Mercedes right there as well. Watch this. And Leclerc has dropped Norris and is closing. You see him, and there he is in the background. Oh, Norris's pace has just fallen away dramatically. He's now 7 seconds off the back of Leclerc. He's hanging with him for a while. This could be a really good day or a really bad day for Stroll. He could hang on to 5th here, or he could drop down to 8th. Maybe even 9th, because Leclerc is still coming. And Ocon is having another run at Alonso. He's got the gap back down to just over a second again. We're going to have some spectacular finishes here. Can Leclerc throw it up the inside? Not quite. Ocon has almost got into DRS range right before the DRS zone. I think he just got it. Sainz has got past Stroll. And yeah, there we go. Ocon now in DRS range for the first time. Alonso hanging on for the last 2 laps to try and secure a podium. Leclerc making a move on Hamilton. And gets him. You've got to say Russell's going to get got pretty much immediately as well. We've got a yellow flag as well. All happening now. Wish we could have been a part of something. It's a lock up for Hulkenberg. There's nothing for anybody. But we know who our competition's going to be now this year. It's going to... Well, Bottas's pace has fallen away as well. Look, he's down in 14th now. We're in a fight with the Alfa Romeos, with the Haas cars, and to a lesser degree the Williams as well. McLaren have kicked on, and yeah, they're too quick for us. Williams, I think if we can stay clean in a race, not keep getting past and losing confidence, I think we could possibly hang with the Williams. But, yeah. It'll be a very, very cagey season. Oh, look at this. Side by side. Ocon's going to get the DRS and a clean run out of the final turn. It's going to put him into the lead, It's going to put him into 3rd. Can he hang on for the final lap and take that podium for Alpine? Got to be disappointed for Gasly. He was running so well earlier, but it's just not worked out for him. He's down in 11th place and 6 seconds off the back of Norris. Look at this fight. 5-car fight here for 5th place. This is Alonso's last real opportunity to get on the podium here. Got a good exit. He's got the DRS wide open. He's going to throw it up the inside. This could be good. This could be carnage. The inside becomes the outside line. I think Ocon's going to hold him off. Alonso just will not give it up. It's going to come down to a lunge at the final corner.
Perez has crossed the line first.
Still side by side. Who's got the battery left for the final push out the corner? It's Alonso. Alonso's going to take it. Wow, look how close that was. And Leclerc trying to make a move on Russell. I think Russell just got that back. Woo! Photo finishes at the end there. even when we're not in the race, there's still drama to look at in the street. That's one of the things I love about this game. You can still have these big dramatic moments, even when you're not actively part of them. Real photo finish there between Russell and Leclerc. It says 0 on the line there, but it will be slightly bigger gap than that. But yeah, look at that. Alonso just holding off the fight and retaking that position from Ocon on the run to the line. I thought he was toast. After failing to get the move done here, I thought that was it. And he still managed to pull it off. The old veteran.
That's a really miserable day for Oscar Piastri.
That was a bitterly disappointing retirement. The team certainly wouldn't have wanted their race to end this way.
No stranger to the podium, the Mexican driver now takes his place after another remarkable race.
And that's win number 1 of the season, and it's sure to provide them with a real confidence boost.
And we've certainly kicked things off in style here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Checo 2024? Who knows? That could be the first of many.
And down there in the Alpha Tauri garage, Karun, what would they be making of that race, do you think?
They'll be disappointed. Neither driver really shone here, it has to be said, and there's quite a bit of work to be done, but they'll be well aware of that.
And that is about that for this weekend's action here in Bahrain.
In the next round, we head to the shores of the Red Sea as Formula One returns to Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
So let's take a look at the final result then. Hamilton did get the fastest lap in the end, a 1:31.2. That was a blisteringly quick lap. Checo holds on to win from pole position. Max gains 2 places to finish in second. Alonso hangs on for third. Ocon up 7 places for fourth. Good race for Sainz in the end. It was looking rough for him at a couple of points in that race, but he got back up into 5th place. Stroll hanging on for 6th. Russell in 7th. Leclerc just 0.005 of a second behind him. George just getting a little bit of a toe on the run to the line there. And then Hamilton up 4 places. Lando getting the final point. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys did a one-stop strategy and they all finished in the top 10. That is interesting indeed. Very interesting. Gasly, disappointing race for him. I don't know what happened. He was looking so good in the first stint, but down 9 places, finishing outside the points in the end. Yuki going backwards a little bit. Williams recovering from a poor qualifying to gain 3 places each, but 2 of those were because we retired our cars. And yeah, there you see. A double DNF for us. Just no point pushing the cars when they weren't even going to make the top 15. Just bring them in and save the wear. Disappointing, and the board aren't going to be happy, but hopefully it'll pay out in the long run with keeping a bit more life in the car. So that is our top 10 and the driver standings right now. Let's take a look at the constructors. Red Bull with 43 points, Aston in second on 23, then Ferrari on 14, Alpine on 12, Mercedes on 9, and McLaren with 1. Let's see, did we still manage to do well in the pit crew competition? It looked as though we had the top 2 stops. And in the end, Oscar got pipped a little bit by Alpine and by Red Bull. But first and fourth, that is a strong start to the season. A 2.5 dead. For Liam, that was his first stop of the Grand Prix, the very first stop of the season actually for all the teams, and it was the quickest. That's good, and the fact that Oscar's there as well is encouraging. That both of those stops happened in normal racing conditions rather than just spamming pit stops to try and improve the times. So yeah, we still got a competent pit crew. And we are top of the competition with 37 points, ahead of Alpine with 22, Ferrari in third with 18, Red Bull with 16, then McLaren with 6, Mercedes with 2. So, let's head back to the garage and try and figure out exactly what went wrong. We did fail a performance guarantee, which was the finish position streak. Yeah, we were going to fail that anyway, whether I'd retired Piastri or not. We just did not have the pace to get into the top 15. So I'm glad I only went for 2 races and not 5. At least now we know where our car performance is, and it's not good. Alright, let's check the inbox. Car passed inspection as expected. Oh, hello, design center improvement. I have got $1 million to spend at this point in the season. We are definitely improving that. That'll give us extra engineers, an extra 5 engineers, and the ability to do more parts. It'll also improve the effectiveness by another 50% on top. That is potentially going to save us. We are a little short on funds, less than 2 mil, but we are only a couple of days away from another board payment. Speaking of the boards, it's still got high confidence, but it's another disappointing race, and the more of those that rack up, the quicker that's going to start to drop. Still disappointed on finances, but that will stay like that until that November payment disappears off the ledger. So we've got another month or 2 of being fiduciarily responsible. Below our targets, and yeah, off our target there as well. Right, I think we are desperately... Oh, wow. Everything's just breaking at the same point. I can't afford to refurb any of these either. That's not ideal. And the boardroom's taking a knock as well. I think we are definitely going to need to upgrade the board. I can't really afford to do it now. We will refurb it though. I don't want to lose too much more before the next Grand Prix. So we'll get that back to spick and span before Jeddah. Let's refurb the helipad as well. Not worried about that. Not worried about that. 1.6 in the bank. And I've got lots of space for parts, but no money to spend on those parts just yet. Okay. Well, maybe we can. Let's go with a normal rear wing. That will cost 1.45, so we can get that started. Right, so our target for this is going to be Baku. We could just do 1 on this. Just write off the first 3 races of the season. So Jeddah and Melbourne will probably be a wash as well, but hopefully for Baku we can have a nice little step forward. Expertise and facilities is rubbish. Why is it so bad? Ugh. That's really disappointing. really want to go that aggressive. We should have had a much bigger expertise gain from that first part that we did, that first rear wing. Why is it so low? That's really, really concerning. Let's put our drivers back onto that short run pace, as I alluded to. Work on their speed. What was I going to check as well? There was something I was going to check and I can't remember what it was. Can anyone remember what I said I was going to have a look at? Oh, yes, I remember. I was going to look at each individual part in the warehouse. Ooh, yeah, that chassis is terrible. Yes, thank you, Ramir. I remember just before you said it, but yeah, we do need to check this. So the chassis is awful. Now, that's not that surprising because we did no research on the chassis at all. How is the front wing looking? Not bad. Not great, but not bad. The rear wing, this is our brand new rear wing, is looking pretty good. Maybe I should have done a chassis instead of another rear wing. Well, we can get a chassis started in a couple of days. How are the side pods looking? I still need some drag to take out of the side pods. Again, we didn't do any research on the... Well, we did one side pod research project. I did want to get a chassis one done as well. We just didn't have enough time left in the year. Let's take a look at the underfloor. Again, underfloor's taking a big jump forward. And the suspension, we're working on this right now. I would have thought that would have been a bit better than it is. But I say we are working on a new one. So I think a big chassis upgrade and another side pod could potentially turn things around for us. We do need to work on a front wing as well. We haven't done one of those yet. One other thing I do want to check as well is let's go into Sakir, and now if I go to powertrain usage, let's see who's using what engines. So Ferrari obviously have to use Ferrari, McLaren have gone to Red Bull, Red Bull have to use Red Bull, Mercedes have to use Red Bull, Mercedes, Alpine have to use Renault, Williams have gone to Ferrari, Haas has stayed with Ferrari, we've obviously gone to Mercedes, Alfa Romeo have gone to Red Bull, Aston have gone to Ferrari. Some interesting changes there. Still only one team, though, using the Renault engines. And only two teams using the Mercedes engines. Everyone's gone either Ferrari or, for the main part, the ones who can, have chosen to either go Red Bull or Ferrari. That is unexpected. Very unexpected. And there we are. Top of the pit crew, the pit stop timings. That's encouraging. Right, let's whiz forward to the Friday. There we go. We have a low number of underfloors. I know about that. Low number of side pods. Know about that. Driver updates. So we've got another point of control on Liam. A point of defending for Oscar. But apart from that, pretty poor month. And a point in adaptability and a point in accuracy for Enzo. Let's get in the next training schedule. So let's go with a day of pit crew and gym training. And let's throw in a bit of car building. Take the Sunday off. Let's go. That there. Yeah, that's okay. And then we'll give them the Monday off. Give them the Sunday off. That's all good. And then we've got a long gap until the next Grand Prix, so we are going to hammer in a whole load of training before Baku. There we go. DNFs decrease development rate greatly. Ah, I did not know that. Okay, I might not have to, I might not be able to do strategic DNFs then if that's the case, because yeah, that was really a huge loss of I don't understand why that would be the case. That makes no sense at all. That explains the red parts. No, it doesn't. No, the red parts were because I was stripping weight off the previous incarnations of those, and so until you strip that weight off again, your part is heavier, which impacts performance. As soon as we took the weight out of that part, you could see that those red levels disappeared again. Right, 4.9 mil. That's enough to do one intense part. It has to be a chassis. We know just how bad that is. We've got 3 days to go actually until we get new hours, so we'll wait on that. We'll do a regular. See, this is more what I was expecting to see. Look, 3.52. It's a bit more like it. Let's bump the drag up. Improve the cooling a touch. Just go like that, and then strip all the weight out. There we go. That'll be worth a little bit of extra speed for us. We'll go normal on that. Baku is 49 days away. Let's get 2 engineers on that. That'll give me 17 days to knock out 2 side pods. That should be enough. And we'll save the rest of the money for another 3 days so we can get some hours, and we'll pump all those into the chassis because the chassis is awful. Helipad refurb is done. New ATR period. Let's go to development. Chassis. Pump everything we've got into the chassis. And we're going to go intense on this as well. Really try and double down the impact of this chassis improvement. Let's see, 46 days. We go 2 just to be on the safe side. And now let's make some changes. We want to push the drag a bit, not too much though. There we go. We're going to make a car that's not very good in the low speed, but this is going to end up really improving our high speed. And obviously we'll get a nice speed boost from this as well. And now we can strip weight out of the chassis. That'll help our acceleration and our cornering as well. So we're going to try and create a car that is very quick in a straight line. And we'll get that started. That leaves me with 2 million, and I might need to make another couple of underfloors. I might be able to just go ahead and start development on another underfloor. Let's have a look. 1.4, yeah, I can afford that. So I don't think we'll get it in time for Baku. Let's look at seeing if we can get these from Miami, maybe. These take, what, 8 days to do? I've only got 2 engineers left. So we'll get these in terms of, on the car for Imola. So we'll just go 1 engineer, just to maximise the gain on that. Drag reduction, we want to push that up a little bit, but we also, they see, look, a 4.47% increase. So for whatever reason, we just didn't get a big gain on the expertise with the rear wing, but we definitely got it here. Strip weight off the underfloor. And that will give us more improvement in pace and downforce and dirty air tolerance as well. Maybe not without hurting the medium. Unless I take maybe a little bit out of there. That's going to hurt the drag. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's a nice little balance. So that's the engineer prepped. Get that into production. There we go. So we've got 5 parts on the way. We're out of cash. Got 500,000 left. I've got extra engineers to hire. Yes, I know, but I don't want to I don't want to just cram these parts out as quickly as possible and get minimal gains in terms of expertise, because it does mean when we do our next round of improvements, we won't have as big a benefit on those next parts. So just because I've got the extra engineers to hire doesn't mean I'm going to hire them. Plus, if I go too crazy and pump parts out every 10, 15, 20 days, then I'm going to be out of cost cap very early on in the season. Alright, so I want to see how far I am from the rivals. So do I. Let's have a look at Williams first of all. So, Williams have got 0.7, 0.8 kilometers on us. A little bit of acceleration. We've got a better DRS than them. And a bit of an improvement in the low speed. We've got better medium speed, just, and I do mean just, 0.005 G. High speed, we're a little bit better than them, but again, not by much. Pretty close in dirty air. Their brakes and their engine cooling significantly better than ours. We do need to work on that. Let's take a look at Alfa Romeo. Even Alfa Romeo, they've got a better acceleration than us, better brakes, better engine, but they're down everywhere else. So the fact that we were off their pace is worrying. I mean, it might just be down to their acceleration, maybe. No, it affects designs as well. It tells you that in development. More engineers means faster completion but lower expertise gain. I don't want to diminish the potential gains I can make, not just in the part itself, but in future parts. It's striking that happy balance. And like I said, I don't want to be knocking out parts too quickly, too frequently, because then I won't have any money in the second half of the season. Alright, is there anything else I can do before Saudi Arabia? I don't think there is. Advance time a little bit more. We've got our suspensions done. Let's go ahead and start building these. Potentially only going to give us a little bit of a rank gain in the low speed, which is important for where we're going in a couple of races, but it will give us a couple of extra percentage in brakes as well. Let's see. Can only afford to start one of these, so I'll have to build the other one after Jeddah. Board refurb is done. Would like to get another level on them, but I'm not willing to pay for an upgrade just yet. Maybe later in the season. But if we continue having bad results, we are definitely going to need to sweeten them up a bit with some shiny new executive toys or something. Right, there we go. That brings to an end tonight's stream, and a very, very painful start to the season. But 5 parts now in development, including some 3rd gen parts. We're already on 2nd gen with some. We're bringing in another new rear wing, another underfloor to build on what we've created with the first ones, which are already quite a big significant step compared to the rest of the grid. But it's the rest of the car that's letting us down at the moment. And hopefully that new chassis will go away to, go some way to help improve the performance of our car, combined with the improved performance of the new rear wing and underfloors when we hit Baku, could potentially give us a nice bit of speed again. We're seeing the potential in planning for some nice gains in downforce as well as drag reduction. It'll all hopefully come together in a nice, meaningful way to give us a significant step forward, and then we've got to maintain that if that is the case. And if not, we've got to keep pushing hard to try and find that extra little bit of performance. The grid is definitely closer this season than it was last, but we are still at the wrong end of it, and we're potentially slightly further down than we were at the end of last season in relation to our rivals. So definitely some work needed to be done. Not having a breakaway driver like Yuki Tsunoda in terms of pace is certainly hurting us, but I think both Lawson and Oscar have the potential to really kick on their pace a bit this year. If we can give them a car that works, that will help. We need to get Oscar's relationship up with Matthias Spinney nice and quick as well. They've only had 10 weeks together so far. If we can get that into a great affinity nice and quickly, that will definitely help Oscar. Let's just take a quick look at Lawson. He has a great affinity with Ben. He's been paired with him now for over half a year, so that is encouraging. And we did see that Lawson's confidence wasn't taking as big a hit and was recovering quicker as well as a result of that relationship. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get some nice improvements in Oscar as the season progresses in terms of his confidence gains and losses. We will be back tomorrow at the usual 8 PM UK time, and so until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager and hopefully a better result very soon.